Welcome to English with Leanne. Today we have the phrasal verb to come into. And you might be thinking, to come into, you mean like to go inside a place? And that's really like to come in to a place where we push the in and to together. And you might say, hey, come into my house. It's cold outside. Don't wait on the curb. And you're saying come in. Now that is one use, meaning to enter. And this does have the definition of to enter, but we have many more definitions. But the phrasal verb definition of to enter. Let's take a look at how we might use this. You might hear someone say, did you come into contact with anyone who was sick? And this is, did you enter into any contact, which sounds awkward. That's why we say, did you come into contact? And this means, were you around someone who was sick? Did you come into contact with someone who was sick? But if we kind of stick with this idea of to enter, to start, to enter a period of time, to enter into a new situation, to start. Let's think about that use as we go into some of these other definitions. So you might have a very common definition as to suddenly get money or property. Normally we think of this with to inherit. Someone dies and you get an inheritance. This means that you get things from them after they die. And you could say, I inherited some money, but you might be a little vague and say, I came into some money. And there you are saying that you suddenly, without planning, without necessarily doing anything, got a lot of money. Now, this could be because you inherited it, but it doesn't have to be because you inherited it. It might be something you say after winning the lottery. You could say, I won the lottery, or you could say, I came into a lot of money last year, because you don't want to say it was from the lottery. Now, again, to think about this definition, to enter, to start, we also use this with laws and policies when something comes into effect. What do I mean it comes into effect? I mean it starts. So I can say the new law comes into effect on July 1st. And I'm telling you that there was a new law. Right now, it's not the law, but on July 1st, it starts being a law. Or I could say, didn't you hear about the new policy that's going to come into effect next year? We need to redo all of our work and make sure that it agrees with the new policy. And that would be an example at work where you're saying that we need to stop. We need to back up because there's going to be this new policy that's going to start and we'll have to change how we do everything. I have two more uses for us. The next one is to not be part of something in particular, of a particular situation, to not factor in to the situation. So you might say, my husband and I have an arranged marriage. Love doesn't come into it. Ooh, wow. And here you're saying that the marriage with you and your husband was arranged. It was planned, probably by your parents, and you did not marry because you loved each other. That's not part of your agreement. Or you might say, I got that promotion all on my own. Luck didn't come into it. Oh, and here you're saying luck was not part of the reason that you got that new promotion. Notice how in both of my examples, I used this in the negative. So you'll often use this definition in the negative. Now, there's an idiom that you might hear this in as well, which is to come into your own. And if you come into your own, you come into your best, your highest, your original potential, the most that you can be. So you might say, That new basketball player is really coming into his own this season. And you're saying that he is reaching his potential. He is starting to be his own player. He's doing great, the best he's ever done, and just as he should. And it can take years for someone to come into their own. They might need some time to learn how things work. And so you can see how you might use that idiom in different situations, but it also has that start, that beginning, that entry into something new. So go ahead and take a look at these definitions right here of to come into. And in the comments below, try to use to come into in a sentence. Can you use it in more than one way? Good luck with the phrasal verb to come into.